Good evening once again to all you wonderful people on social media. This is your realtor and investor, Lester Witherspoon, coming to you once again on our program, Lester Real Estate Investment Time. Glad to always have you to be a part of our program. Glad that you take off time with your busy schedule to join us live of our program. Those who can make it live, who watching the replay, we also appreciate you. We know that everybody's busy, but we can at least thank you for taking time to watch the program. This is an educational program. You to educate the public on the real estate market, but the home buying process and other things that associate with the real estate market. So this is an educational program, and we're glad that you can stop by to at least be a part, and I hope you learn something from this program. If you know anybody who want to buy or sell, please feel free and share this program with them or invite them. Or just put a comment below. And I will definitely reach out to them to talk with them and see how best I can be of assistance to them if need be. Also, I told you all last week that I've started my YouTube channel. And I would like to encourage you to go and check my YouTube channel out and make some suggestions. I would appreciate it highly. Just go to YouTube and in the search bar, put that Lester Witherspoon Realtor, and definitely my channel will come up. So go to YouTube, put that Lester Witherspoon Realtor, and my information will come up with all my clips, and you can watch. And I will appreciate it highly if you can subscribe and hit the notification button, and you get all the latest update that I'll be putting out there. So please subscribe and hit the notification button. I will appreciate it very highly. And like as many clips as you like that you go through, you like it, please click like also. And share it with anybody who you think thinking about buying or selling. I will also share with them too. You feel free, you're welcome to do it anytime. So feel free. So glad to have you again. And it's always a pleasure to be here with you. I really enjoy the time here with you. Now, last week, we started talking about the open house. Now, during the home buying process, 9 out of 10 times, most realtors hold what we call an open house. Now, an open house is a time set aside, maybe 2 hours on a certain day, where the realtor with invite the public to come and see the property. They will invite the entire public. So you don't need any appointment. Because normally if we go see a house, you got to have an appointment. It's better we got to go with a realtor who will call, make the reservation for you guys, make the arrangements, and then you got to go to see the house if you want to buy a house. But with open house, you don't have to make any appointment. Once you know that the open house is being held from 11 to 1, you can just stop by there in that time frame and just walk in and look through the house. You feel free. And I would say one of the advantages of the open house is that as a realtor, as a buyer, you don't necessarily have to carry your agent with you. You don't have to carry a realtor with you. You don't. You can just stop by and go see the house. Of course, if you have a realtor, you let the realtor know, and you get there, they ask you, do you have a realtor? You tell the person, yes, I have a realtor. And they will respect that. They will not hold it against you, they will not force you. But you can still view the property as much as you want. You know, take your own time and look at it. And that's an advantage. For an open house, you don't need to set an appointment. Just go there during the time period where the open house is being held. Now, we say another advantage of the open house is that you're stress free. I mean, you don't have to go there with any stress. You take your own sweet time, look as long as you want to look within that time frame, and when you finish, if you want to ask questions, you ask questions. If you don't want to ask any questions, you don't have to ask any questions either. So it's up to you. If you want to ask questions, you go ahead and ask questions. If you just leave, that doesn't thank you, bye, I'm gone, and you leave. So that's the advantage of an open house. As a buyer, you just walk in and just view the house. You don't need any appointment. Just go there during that time period. Yeah. So today, we are going to talk about some of the cons, the disadvantages of the open house. Now, I'll first start from the seller perspective. Now, because some sellers, they think when you hold an open house, definitely they get an offer immediately. But holding an open house, I'm sorry to disappoint you sellers, does not necessarily mean we get an offer for your house. Now, the 10 chances we may not get an offer for the house. Sometimes, yes, it happens. Especially if you have already done your homework and you have already designed and ready fix your house up nicely, it can go in a heartbeat like that. Because another advantage of open house, it helps to give you additional exposure of your property. You see? So if with the open house, they help to expose your property more to the public, for people to stop by and see it. But if it's not ready, presentable to do open house, trust me, personally, I'll take straight up. Either do X, Y, and Z, or we're not holding open house. Because if your house is not presentable, you don't hold open house. No. So the thing is that even if your house is presentable, you have done all, it doesn't necessarily mean that we get an offer during the open house. Because some buyers, they want to beat the open house. Some buyers, because during the open house, many persons come by. And so what some realtors do, they will hold the opening, the showing of the property until the open house, before it will be the first showing during the open house. And during that time, you get a lot of people coming to see your property, because everybody looking at it on the internet and passing by seeing it. The time you say it's open, everybody want to see it quick because they want to see what is good to make an offer. And that's another disadvantage right there. Because when a lot of people coming in, it's a problem because the security issues arise. Security issues arise because you don't have the time to follow behind everybody as you go to your house. So you don't know what they're doing to your house. You know their motive. Someone can come or the motive they come. You don't know. You see? So when you have an open house, there's an issue of security. Especially when you wait for last minute time you don't show the house to the public until the open house. You have a huge flock of people coming into that property. And then people will go to the house, we're all being observed, we're all being monitored, and you don't know what they're doing in the property. So that's a serious disadvantage for the seller. So normally when I'm holding an open house, I always encourage my sellers to make sure you lock up all your valuable information. So I'm telling you now, if you want to sell your house and you do an open house, make sure all your valuable information are locked up and secure. If you have a safe, put it all in the safe and lock the safe. If you don't have a safe, put it in your bed, because normally when you have an open house, you always encourage the seller to please leave the property. So when you leave the property, take all your valuables with you. Don't leave it there, because chances are, people the fact of the matter is, people are not being monitored, and anything can happen. So what some smart people do nowadays, or do what they do, they put a camera in the house. So they and let you know. They put a notice on the door that this house is being monitored. Then that can, as a strategy to try to avoid people from trying to do some stealing and activity, because there's no security during the open house. That's one con. And secondly, there's a high risk for theft. People can steal your things. There are two serious disadvantages. You see? So what people do, which is smart to do, you put a little sign, say, property is being monitored. Then they know you're watching them. Especially you got camera in the house. You know, you put something up there, you have to let them know that you are watching it, even though something it not be real, but that will help them to keep in check and that do any malicious activity go on. No? So that's a way of trying to prevent, at least, or curb the theft issue. So, but I'll be honest with you, there is a high risk for theft, and there's little or no monitoring of security. So these things happen. And so we try to be, as a realtor, we try to get some assistance during the open house, get people to be following the people sometimes. But if a lot of people coming in, you can't do all that. So what we try to do, we try to monitor, we try to limit. You come in one at a time. We also try to do that. So if this person in, we allow X number of people to come in at a time. Now we're going to get a whole bunch coming at the same time. No. We usually maybe 3 or 4 different groups can come in at a time. Then you try to keep a little eye on them here, there, and yonder. But still it's not 100%. Anything can happen. See? So that's a huge disadvantage of a huge con when it comes to an open house. And there's a high risk for theft also during an open house. All right. So these are things we need to be mindful of. The first is that there is not 100% positive or a slim chance of your house being sold or getting an offer during that open house. You may not get an offer. At the very first thing you know, you may get an offer, you may not. So let the seller know upfront. We'll do it, but make sure your house is well. It helps to promote the house more, but it doesn't guarantee that we'll get an offer at the open house. And then another thing, that can happen during the open house, because you see, in the home buying process, once you want to buy a house, the first thing you need to do is to make sure you are pre-qualified, to make sure you get with a lender to know how much you qualify for and what kind of loan you're getting and all that. That way you ought to do. But when you're having an open house, people come to your open house, you don't know whether they qualify or not. So you have a lot of unqualified people coming to your open house. Some of them is a person that press 400, 500,000. Some of them may not be qualified for that amount. Even they're looking for it, but they just come to see. You see? So that everybody that come to the open house necessarily mean that they are qualified buyers who will buy the property also. And you see? So people coming to your open house, just know that not all of them are qualified buyers. Because one good group that I can assure you, when you have an open house, that will always show up, that's the neighbors. And I will call them nosy neighbors. That's how we call them. Nosy neighbors. Because most of them, they just want to compare their house to the house that are being sold. A few of them have all good intentions because they plan to sell their house. Yes, because it happened before. To me, they came, they saw it, and they said, okay, let's see how this will go. When we finish, we can talk about my house. It has happened before, yes. So some neighbors come to see exactly how their neighbor has looked in it, what they did, all the touches they did on the house, so they can get some ideas on how to fix their own property to put it on the market, which is good. You see? And 9 out of 10 times, if you really treat them nice, they could give you that other contract too, as a realtor. You see? But most of them that come by from the community, they just come by just to observe and just to compare it with their own property. And and trust me, another thing about neighbors, they will give you all the latest gossip, all the news about that property. Because they're there, they know exactly what happened, what going in, what going out, and they're ready to tell you who died in the property, and they're ready to tell you all the news to do about that property. They know their neighbors. That's what they do. They will do that in a heartbeat. You gotta just ask them. Or some of them, they must issue to tell you that. I'm telling you that right now. Because it happened all the time. Yeah. And some of them be straight up, like, I'm not buying a scheme, they just observe, they just see how. Some of them will act like they want to buy, and they didn't want to buy. So we have seen it all kinds of ways. Yeah. We have seen it all kinds of ways happening. So be mindful that during open houses, you will have all kinds of people coming in and out of your property. So you have to be very careful and see who coming, who not coming in. And then also be mindful also that not everybody that coming in are qualified buyers and will put in an offer for your property. Even though some of them are even qualified buyer, everybody who want to buy, they have their own special things they're looking for in the property. They're looking for some specific things in a property that they want to buy. So some of them come, they don't see what they're really looking for, they will not buy. Some come who see everything that they really want in the property, they will let you know. Sometimes they will not let you know, let the realtor know, then realtor will submit the offer, but at least they will make the offer, But most people will not let you know what the whole intentions are. They will not let you know. They will not let you know what the intentions are. You see? And if they don't let you know what their intentions are, definitely you just gotta just be the open mind watching to see what's going on. You know? And as a good realtor, you gotta keep your eyes open all the time. Because as I said, you don't know who all come in your property, what their intentions are, whether they really want to buy, whether they want to come and see, or whether they come with different intentions. Because it happened before too. Well, where people's houses got broken into after an open house. It's not clear as to whether they came and saw it during the open house. And as a result, we're able to find the exit strategy and all that during the open house. It's not clear, it's not definite. But people's houses have gotten broken before after all. Especially if the house is vacant. If the property is vacant, yes, it can happen. It's possible. Yeah, definitely. It could happen. You know, so there's some of the little things that you need to be mindful of when it comes to some of the cons or disadvantage of an open house. You have to be mindful these things may happen to your property. So, sellers, I just want to just stop by today just to throw these little things out to you. Just few tips. There are other things too, but just the few tips I try to share with you, so you can at least be mindful as to what the whole open house process look like. And this is a huge debate in the real estate world, because some people, they are so in for open houses, some people are against open houses. Yes, you know, but again, it has its advantages, it has its own disadvantages. Everything, like my father was saying, have its good and its bad. You got to weigh it and see how best you can make it work in the best interest. You know, so open house, while the street have its own disadvantages, it also has its advantages, and you can work it out for in the best interest of your client, which is the seller. So, as we hold, as an agent, as you hold your open house, you have to make sure you do everything that your client property remains secure until it is sold. You have to do everything possible. Make sure. So you watch, you monitor, you greet everybody that come in, so that you can see their response and see how they act and what they go about, and you know, and give you a little feel, you know. And then sometimes people come in looking skeptical. You can try to monitor them and all that, but you have to have your eyes and ears open during the open house as a realtor. You have to make sure you protect the interest of your client. Yeah, but these things may happen. These things may happen. If you're not careful, people could steal. People are not monitored one-on-one during the open house. Not every buyer that coming in, every person that coming is a qualified buyer, you know, and there's not a 100% chance that you get an offer from the open house. So these are your little 4 things I try to share with you today, just to be mindful about them. So, but again, I encourage you, when you put your house on a contract, do the open house, you know, and make sure the agent that you have is a very good and smart agent, and definitely will be looking out and doing the best in your best interest to make sure nothing happens to your property. And of course, if you know anybody who thinking about selling the property, and they need somebody to assist them, feel free. I'll be glad to sit and talk with them in more details about how to go about the home buying process. And if possible, if they need be, I'll be glad to always work with them to make sure that all goes well. My cell phone number is 302-310-0621. Again, my cell phone number is 302-310-0621. And my office direct number is 667-290-5051. Again, my office direct number is 667-290-5051. So you can call or text me at that number, or you can put a comment at the bottom of this clip. Let me know if you are interested in listing your property. I'll be glad to sit and talk with you about it. Or if you know somebody who thinks about listing your property, I will appreciate the referral also. I will highly appreciate it. And I will be glad to sit and talk with them and to see how best we can make sure all go well and make sure the house is sold in a timely manner also. because the market is shifting right now. It's not all wow seller's market like before. It's trying to level out, so it's getting a little better, even though it's not completely balanced off yet, but at least it's not as stiff as before. So so that's good news for buyers, though. Who want to buy, at least it's getting a little better for buyers. It's getting a little better. So feel free to let me know. You can put a comment, share it with anybody who you know, and I will appreciate it highly again. So thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule and at least joining us on our program. We really highly appreciate it. We enjoy being with you every Tuesday, and you feel free to go and watch it. It's on my Facebook page, and it's on other sites. And I said earlier, I now have my YouTube channel. You can go on YouTube. I have a lot of clips there also. You can just go there on YouTube in the search box and put there Lester Witherspoon Realtor. Click search, and I will definitely come up. And then you can look at all the clips that I've put on my YouTube channel. And I would appreciate it if you could just subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button to receive all the updates that I'll be putting out there. And if you go through any of the clips and you like it, click the like button too. I would really highly appreciate it. This is your realtor and investor, Lester Witherspoon, once again saying thanks a million, and always glad to be with you. I look forward to being with you every week, and look forward to hopefully we'll be working with you in the near future. So feel free, give me a call or text me. I will appreciate it. Bye for now, and I will definitely keep in touch. Take care.